You've been chasing someone like royalty, hoping for a little attention. The more you chase, the more they flee. Why? Because they regard you as a puppet, always ready for their next move, strings tight. As long as you comply, they'll treat you like yesterday's trash. Do you believe they'll wake up and see your worth? They won't while you're a backup plan, always ready. Who empowered them over you? Who gave them control over your happiness? I see you from here. You gave them control. You gave them control of your peace of mind. They're living their lives without thinking of you as you wait for them to change. That shows they don't value your time, energy, or effort. You've been busting your ass to get their attention, but they've only shown you they don't care. Why would? You've stated you'll stay regardless of treatment. That ends today. Step back, cut the strings, and stop being the puppet today. No more chasing them, waiting for texts, calls, or validation. You silent, fade into the background, and let them experience life without you. You channel every ounce of energy you squandered on them into yourself. True, people don't value what they don't earn. They run as long as you're chasing, savoring the excitement of knowing you'll always be there. Things change when you stop and get silent. The communications terminate abruptly. The loss of your constant presence hurts them deeply. They'll swipe through their phone, wondering where you went and why you didn't call. They'll stalk your social media for signs of your interest, but you're done. You shouldn't wait for scraps from someone who treated you like a choice. To reclaim control. Standing back and silent flips the script. They're left wondering if they've lost you forever. They'll run back to figure out what went wrong. But this time, you decide. So embrace this challenge. Comment below with "I am done waiting," not just on them, but on anyone to treat you right. You're no one's backup, puppet, or emotional safety net. You've wasted enough time. Now stop giving them easy access. They'll suffer a gut punch when they discover you're no longer waiting and sense that hole you left behind. And guess what? Whether they return or not doesn't matter, because you know your worth isn't related to their attention. You're no side piece they can put down and pick up later. They lost you, and you'll be gone before they realize it. Stop playing by their rules today. Throw off the strings, step back, and walk silently today. No more chasing, no more waiting. Stop being their puppet. You have the power now, so see what happens when they chase you. Listen up, folks. The real deal begins here. If you've made it this far, you've started retreating, giving them the cold shoulder, and abandoning that hard chase. You may have stopped messaging, gone quiet, or held back from pursuing someone new. You imagined, this is it. They'll notice I'm gone and they'll come rushing back, realizing they've lost someone special. Sound good? However, that's not how it works. The error most people make is thinking they just need to stop chasing, sit back, and wait for the glorious moment when the other person wakes up saying, "Wow, what was I thinking? I can't lose them." But that's another trap. Keeping quiet and waiting for them to realize and come running back gives them all the power. Though you've stopped chasing, you're still waiting. And waiting? Just another submission. Despite sitting motionless instead of racing after them, the strings are still holding them. The unpleasant reality is that stopping chasing and hoping they return would change nothing. Your vibe will still attract them. Your silence will show you're waiting for their attention. When they give you a crumb, you'll want to jump back, indicating you were never in charge. You must go deeper than withdrawing. You must prove to yourself that you are no longer an emotional puppet. We can't just quit chasing them. You must proceed. The real change occurs here, when you no longer need them to notice your absence. Not only are you reversing, you're gaining momentum. The point of your quiet isn't to punish them, but to show them that your world doesn't revolve around them and that their attention doesn't define you. Remember, you write your story. I write my own story. This isn't about waiting in the shadows for someone to read your script. This is about scrapping that old script and writing a new one with you as the protagonist. Making sure you don't care if they miss you is the power move. They'll feel the pain when you're living your life with purpose and thriving without them. But by then, you won't care. Your freedom is the real win, not their remorse. Things change here. No more waiting rooms, checking your phone for their message, or living on someone else's schedule. You stand back, stay silent, and live a full life regardless of their return. If they return, it won't be because you were waiting. You'll have produced something no one can ignore. If they return, it won't be because you were waiting. You'll have produced something they can't ignore. This video's following segment will cover that. Keep watching and like this video if you like helping you regain your power. Spread this message to additional people like you who need this change. Done liking the video. Thank you. Action is needed now. Start with the first step. Number 1. Stop acting thirsty. People, when you stop chasing them, you must stop being thirsty. No compromises, no sneaky re-entry. Like a terrible scent, desperation is noticeable from a mile away. The more you demand their attention, the less likely they are to provide it. Why? Because hunger signals weakness, and beggars, clingers, and throwers repel faster. You must stop that immediately. Think about it. People lose respect when they realize you need their approval. Why would they value what's already pursuing them? Thirst turns you into a puppet, controlled by needing attention, like, or affection. Putting someone on a pedestal by dancing for their praise is undeserved. They become the treasure, and you become the emotional doormat they retain, just in case. But not anymore. That ended today. Stop using your phone like a slot machine to wait for their message to end your thirst. No need to check last seen, or if they read your texts. You're done being someone's puppet. Not messaging you means they're not thinking about you, and that's okay. You've allowed their reaction govern your happiness, not that they're not texting. Next, remove exaggerated gestures. No more liking all their posts, leaving superfluous comments, or DMing them with lame conversation starters. You know the late night, "Hey up," texts, "I just wanted to check in" messages, and fake casual replies that say, "Please notice me." They must go. Acting thirsty shows them that their attention is more important than your dignity, which is risky. Confidence is quiet. Thirst is screaming. You don't need to declare your arrival when you're confident. You move softly without approval, and others notice. Indeed, they revere it. Why? Because nothing is more attractive than someone who understands their worth and doesn't need validation. If you want to turn the tables, move quietly. Stop demanding attention and let them wonder what's wrong. The truth is that people don't value the obvious. The more you rush them, the more they retreat. However, stopping phoning and texting creates a vacuum. That empty space makes them notice your absence. They'll wonder, why aren't they chasing me anymore? Have I lost them? That small energy shift restores your power. This doesn't mean you manipulate people by being hard to get. Set boundaries and regains self-respect. You're not ignoring them to make them miss you. You're done wasting time on someone who doesn't value you. When you change internally, it shows. It will be felt even if you don't speak. Another thing, quit seeking praise. Do not publish tales or photos to test their likability. You lost if you posted to gain their attention. You should live for yourself, not for approval. When you quit being thirsty, you'll feel lighter. Discover that you never needed their approval. Truthfully, when you relax and stop trying, amazing things happen. People wonder. Curiosity about why you're not chasing them draws them in. Best of all, you won't care by the time they notice. Why? Because you'll have regained your power and you can't go back. I attract, not chase. Say this if you want to reach out. Double text or get validated. Stopping thirst completely changes energy. Now they wonder what happened, what they lost, and if they can get you back. But they won't know since you're not playing that game anymore. This change affects you too. Always choose yourself. When you quit providing your energy to unworthy people, you make room for growth, happiness, and calm. And guess what? That glow up will attract the correct people without effort. The ones that value you will show up and stay without being chased. Take a step back when thirsty. Avoid sending that text. Avoid stalking their social media. Do not wait by the phone. Remember, I am enough as I am. Since you only required your own approval, live like it. Number 2. Keep them in the dark. Not telling them is one of your most powerful moves. When you restrict their access to your ideas, feelings, and every aspect of your existence, the dynamic changes. Nobody inspires curiosity like mystery, and humans crave the unknown. Move silently to change the storyline and make them think about you constantly. They don't know your thoughts anymore. Restricting your inner world will keep them hooked. When someone always knows where you are, what you're doing, and how you feel, they feel comfortable. With nothing left to discover, they stop thinking about you. You've shared every chapter without asking. They lose interest as you become more predictable. When you step back and stop publicizing every thought, curiosity emerges. Why aren't they posting like usual? Why didn't they text back? What's happening? Suddenly, you're in their thoughts rent-free. Keeping someone in the dark doesn't mean ghosting or disconnecting. Leaving them guessing requires just enough space. You needn't block them or remove your social media profiles. Leaving subtle breadcrumbs can be much more beneficial. Post enough to let folks know you're living your life, but not enough to figure it out. You may post a picturesque view, a snapshot with friends, or a caption like, "Big changes ahead." No explanations, not tagged. No extraneous context, just hints of difference. This move requires surprise. Take your time if you've usually responded quickly. Take a break from daily posting. When they think they know your next move, change it. Their curiosity about your antics keeps them on edge. Their interest comes from the mental friction of trying to figure out what's wrong with you. And its beauty? You're not gaming. You're just limiting them access to your life. This includes discussions. You don't need to explain yourself or answer every question. When asked what you've been doing, say, "Just staying busy to keep things light." If asked how you feel, be neutral. You don't have to tell someone who took you for granted your feelings. The knowledge that they've lost your true self will hurt. You must recognize that their imagination will fill in the gaps when they don't know. Usually, people assume the worst. What if they moved on? Seeing someone new. did I permanently alienate them? Uncertainty causes tension, which obsesses people. They'll browse your social network, reread communications, and overanalyze every encounter to figure you out. But truth, they won't find answers. You want your privacy and serenity back. You stop needing their approval when you keep them in the dark. You no longer need to justify yourself or show them what they're missing. The strongest message you can send is that you live for yourself. Say it, I move silently. Use that as your motto. Remember, I move in silence whenever you feel inclined to overshare or post to gain attention. You're not here to entertain or intrigue. You're here to protect your energies and establish a life without others' opinions. It's a lifestyle change to keep them in the dark. It means acknowledging that not everyone deserves your ideas, feelings, or time. Selecting who sees your true self is key. After losing access to your world, they'll crave it more than ever. But this time, you decide. Next time you want to explain yourself, post anything for their attention, or ask whether they care. Pause. Breathe. Remember, I move silently. Let them ponder. Allow them to sit in darkness, unsure of their position. Because the less they know, the more they desire to know. By then, you'll be too far ahead to care if they catch up. Number 3. Own your time like a boss. Being a boss with your time involves taking charge of your life. Stop waiting for texts, calls, or notices. Stop adjusting your schedule to meet others. Get your hours, days, and energies back and focus on what matters. Because if you don't value your time, no one else will. Think about it. How often have you spent days wondering when someone will reply, or ditched everything when asked to hang out? Giving up your time is giving up your self-worth. Overavailability sends the message that your time is worthless. Let's face it, people will respect your time as you indicate. If you're always available, they'll assume you have nothing better to do and act accordingly. That ends now. You now control the clock. Stop canceling arrangements and waiting on the phone for unimportant people. When you value your time, others will too. The power shift begins when you make your time non-negotiable. Start owning your time by not responding to every message. You don't have to answer an SMS immediately. You need not be available 24/7. Slow down. Finish what you're doing. Focus on yourself and answer when you can. The response gap conveys, you are not my priority. Yes, people will notice. When they discover your reactions aren't assured, they'll value them more. Fill your time with meaningful activities. Work out, focus on your career, pursue hobbies, or spend time with people that care about you to build yourself up. When your schedule is full of goals-aligned activities, you won't have time to worry about texting. And irony, people start pursuing you when you stop being available. Another tip, say no without guilt. People who disrespect your time don't deserve it. If someone wants to hang out last minute and you've already planned, even a night alone, say no. Avoid accommodating those who wouldn't do the same for you. That's boundaries, not selfishness. Owning your time requires thinking, not simply scheduling. Be proactive instead of reactive. Make things happen instead of waiting. Plan your own experiences instead of waiting for an invitation. Create your own opportunities instead of waiting for them. When you control your time, you write your own tale instead of experiencing someone else's. The amazing thing is that living this way transforms everything. You'll feel lighter without someone else's schedule dictating your happiness. You'll be more productive and fulfilled when you focus on what matters. Others will notice. They'll wonder why you're harder to contact. That curiosity, this will attract them. When they notice, you'll be so preoccupied that it won't matter if they come. Repeat, my time belongs to me. Consider it your new motto. Every time you want to drop everything for someone who hardly respects your time, remember, my time belongs to me. You're not here to be anyone's backup or waste energy on unappreciative folks. Take charge, move purposefully, and value every hour, day, and choice. Because when you own your time like a boss, people chase you instead of you chasing them. Number 4, demand more. Settle for nothing less. Folks, expect more and accept nothing less. You've accepted the bare minimum for too long, believing things will improve miraculously. People treat you as you allow. If you keep accepting breadcrumbs, they'll keep giving. If you want to change the dynamic and be respected, valued, and prioritized, raise your standards and never lower them. Constant compromise is the problem with settling. You convince yourself that this is all there is, and that asking for more is demanding or ungrateful. You settle for what you think you deserve, not what others give you. If you accept less than your worth, you educate yourself you'll always get less. That ends now. Now you raise the bar, not lower it because someone doesn't meet it. You deserve the finest in relationships, friendships, and opportunities. You shouldn't limit yourself to meet others' expectations. If they can't satisfy your standards, it's their fault. Your responsibility is to maintain your tranquility and worth. Zero discounts or concessions. People respect those who know what they want and refuse compromise. Raising your standards shows you value your time, energy, and presence. The proper people, they'll rise for you. But the wrong, you may be called difficult, too much, or made to feel bad for setting boundaries. Do not believe that. That means they won't move up, therefore leave. Demanding more is self-respect, not arrogance. Understanding that you deserve relationships and experiences that enrich your life is key. Not seeing your value is their loss, not yours. Your worth doesn't decrease because others can't see it. Beautiful part. Stopping settling makes room for better things. Say it with me. I expect more and accept nothing less. This is your new standard. Repeat whenever you feel like settling. You're not pleading for affection or respect. Attract people and situations that match your best self. Can't they meet you where you are? Keep going. This game can only be won by demanding what you deserve and not playing small. Number 5. Stay silent. No explanations needed. Silence is powerful. One of the biggest mistakes individuals make is explaining every move they make, why they didn't reply, said no, or pulled back. However, you owe no explanation. Explaining oneself gives away power. You invite people to criticize or control your choices. You must master silence to reclaim power. Explaining oneself implicitly requests permission, like asking, "Is this okay? Do you understand my motives?" When you ask for permission, you weaken yourself since the other person can justify your decisions. Honestly, you don't need anyone's approval. You own your behaviors, choices, and boundaries. Nobody else decides their rightness. Silence says something. Silence conveys power. I don't need to justify myself. It shows you're confident in your choices and unconcerned about others' opinions. Silence makes individuals wonder and reconsider their treatment. Not getting the explanation they expected breaks their control. Also, that disruption. The power transfers there. Imagine being asked why you didn't answer their text right away. Say, "I was busy." No explanations, just a simple, unconcerned statement. You may decline an invitation without explanation. "I won't make it." That silence says it all. You're making your own decisions and not seeking approval. Sitting silence isn't impolite or disrespectful. Set boundaries and protect your energy. Every time you explain, you give someone else energy. They can examine and critique your decisions because you let them inside your thinking. However, silence conserves energy. Say it, "I move silently." No explanations needed. This is your new motto. Remind yourself of this whenever you want to explain. Others' opinions of your choices are not your responsibility. They're to blame if they can't appreciate your decisions without explanation. Respectful folks won't need an explanation. They will understand that you control your time, energy, and boundaries. Those who expect explanations, they want to control you. Regain control by being silent. It shows the world and yourself that your decisions are independent. Next time someone asks you to explain, resist. Let your quiet speak, because stillness speaks loudly in a noisy world. Number 6, glow up and let them wonder. Folks, shine up and leave them in the dark, wondering what hit them. This is an inside-out metamorphosis, not just a cosmetic one. A glow-up implies being your best mentally, physically, and emotionally for yourself, not them. We're not trying to make them jealous or win them back. Becoming so dazzling, happy, and unstoppable that others don't notice is the genuine flex. This is the catch. They will notice. When they do, they won't understand your new self. A true glow-up starts mentally, not for retribution or to make someone regret their choices. Reclaim your life and become the person you always wanted to be. That involves letting go of the self that needed approval. You were never meant to follow others. Time to rise, not for them, but for you. First, improve your habits. Take care of oneself seriously. Exercise, eat well, and sleep well. To appreciate your body, do it for yourself. You deserve to feel strong, healthy, and unstoppable, not for likes or attention. If you're confident in yourself, others will notice whether you post about it or not. Moving on to personal improvement. Learn your dream talent. Concentrate on your career. Befriend those who uplift you. Every time you invest in yourself, learning, working, or enjoying life, you say, "I am enough and my own priority." You already know your worth, therefore you're not waiting. The fun part, when you glow up, they'll notice the change and get confused. Why do they look happy? They hang out with whom? Seeing someone new. However, you won't answer. Pure growth, no oversharing or explanations. Their curiosity will consume them. You'll be miles ahead when they figure it out. Say it, "I shine for me." This is your new motto. When tempted to post for attention or approval, remember, "I glow up for me." Because they get the best glow-ups when they least expect them. What happens when they notice will be irrelevant. They won't know what hit them with your brightness. Get to work. Create your ideal existence. Invest in yourself like never before. Allow them to wonder as you glow and move silently. Being noticed doesn't give you power. Knowing you never required their attention is powerful. Number 7, say no and mean it. One of the most effective things you can do for yourself is say no and mean it. Too long, you've said yes to plans you didn't want, yes to people who took you for granted, and yes to time and energy-draining requests. Every time you answered yes when you should have said no, you allowed others to put themselves first. Not anymore. Say no, stay put, and watch things change. You set limits and maintain your tranquility by saying no. Survival, not selfishness. Keep giving others portions of yourself and you'll have nothing left. People take as much as you let until you set a limit. Some people don't appreciate being told no. They will guilt you, accuse you of being difficult, or make you feel selfish. But guess what? Their reaction isn't your issue. It shows their expectations, not your merit. Saying no means reclaiming your time and energy. You stop following others' plans and start living your own. This is powerful. Every no to anything that doesn't benefit you is a yes to yourself. Your time, energy, and well-being are prioritized. It's not enough to say no. You must follow through. No explanations or apologies. Just no. Explaining oneself invites negotiation. They'll dig at your justifications, try to sway your mind, and soon you're doing something you never intended to. Say, no, I can't make it. Or, no, that doesn't work for me. End of story. No explanations needed. Say it with me. I mean no. This is your new standard. Start choosing yourself, respecting your time, and protecting your peace. Because saying no and meaning it gives you power, not simply limitations. Those who respect that. These are the only individuals worth retaining. Number 8. Stay solid. Emotionally untouchable. People staying strong and emotionally impenetrable is the ultimate power maneuver. When you stop letting others' behavior, words, or silence affect your feelings, you regain serenity. No one controls your emotions because of emotional freedom. They can't push your buttons, toy with your head, or involve you in their chaos. People can feel your emotional invisibility, which drives them insane. Why? Unresponsive people are the most aggravating. Truth, those who know they can manipulate your emotions will keep testing you. They'll push, ghost, and breadcrumb you to get a reaction. They enjoy having that much influence over you. The game ends when you stop reacting. The advantage is lost. They understand they never had authority over you when they can no longer influence your mood with words or absence. Being emotionally untouchable doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. Choose when and how to reply. It's the ability to stay calm when someone provokes you, walk away when someone plays games, and ignore things that once upset you. Staying strong means no one can disturb your inner serenity, no matter what. This is about mastering emotions, not suppressing them. Pause when you want to lash out, chase, or explain. Breathe. Remind yourself, I control. When you choose silence over drama, serenity over confusion, and composure over impulse, you strengthen your emotional independence. I remain emotionally untouchable. This is your new motto. It's a mindset, not simply words. It's knowing your happiness, peace, and well-being are secure. They are yours and cannot be taken without your permission. When you're emotionally untouchable, you attract peaceful individuals and situations. Stop engaging with anything that disrupts your balance. And those who played with your emotions, step up or step out. You'll win either way. Number 9. Be the magnet, not the seeker. Now is the time to attract, not seek. Chasing, begging, or always proving yourself. You no longer play that. Always pursuing makes you seem needy, desperate, and easy to ignore. Everything changes when you reverse your energy and attract instead of seek. People typically flock toward confidence, independence, and self-assuredness, which you must exhibit. Magnets pull, not chase. It stands strong, knowing it can attract things without moving. Your new role. You needn't seek acceptance or love. You focus on being your best self, and others that match your energy will find you. The proper people will be drawn in, not because you beg for their time, but because you exude self-worth. Being a magnet involves mastering letting go. You no longer pursue unworthy things. If no one cares, that's fine. Release them. If you miss an opportunity, trust that something better is coming. Detachment is when you know what's right for you will find you, not being cold. Your energy is too valuable to chase things that won't last. You must also be happy to attract. People can feel your magnetic energy when you quit seeking external affirmation and develop joy from yourself. You no longer need someone to complete you since you're whole. And that confidence, people gravitate toward you easily. Say it with me. I attract, not chase. This is your mantra. When you want to seek, chase, or force something, remember, I attract, I don't chase. With this perspective, you stop seeking what's not meant for you and attract what you deserve. Being the magnet means owning your power. You relax, knowing what's right will arrive and what's wrong will go. You attract, not seek. That is the most powerful move ever.